The stars twinkled in the night sky above the NASA Control Center. Inside, 50 people held their breath. No one dared to speak. On the main screen, a strange object moved closer to Earth. It wasn't a meteor or a satellite. Its movements were too precise, too controlled. Dr. Susan Miller gripped the edge of her desk. After 20 years studying space signals, she finally had proof. Humans were not alone. "It's slowing down," said Sam Carter, the military advisor assigned to her team. His voice was calm, but his eyes showed worry. The strange ship entered Earth's orbit and stopped. For 3 days, it just stayed there. World leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to attack it. Others wanted to welcome the visitors. In the end, they decided to wait. On the 4th day, the ship sent a message. It came through every radio, TV, and computer on Earth at the same time. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We represent the Galactic Council, a union of 378 spacefaring civilizations. We have been watching your progress for centuries. We believe you are now ready to join us among the stars." The United Nations called an emergency meeting. They picked Dr. Miller to lead the first contact team. Sam Carter would go too, along with 10 other experts from around the world. The alien ship sent down a smaller craft to meet them. It landed in a field near the UN building in New York. The team waited nervously as a door opened in the side of the craft. 3 beings stepped out. They looked nothing like humans expected aliens to look. The first was tall and blue, with 4 arms and eyes that shimmered like diamonds. The second had skin like tree bark and moved like flowing water. The third looked almost human, except for the silver scales covering its skin. "I am Ambassador Zix Vorn," said the blue one. Its voice sounded like music. "We welcome Earth to the galactic community." Over the next few weeks, humans learned amazing things. The aliens had faster-than-light travel. They could cure most diseases. They had spread across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Dr. Miller worked day and night on the treaty that would make Earth a member of the Council. The aliens promised to share some technology and help humans explore nearby stars. "This seems too good to be true," Sam Carter said one night as they studied the treaty. He pointed to a section about Council laws. "Look at these rules. We have to obey their laws above our own. We can't expand beyond certain limits without permission. Something doesn't feel right." "They're advanced, Sam. They've been doing this for thousands of years," Dr. Miller replied. "Of course they have rules." Sam shook his head. "I've been watching how they interact with each other. The bark-skinned ones always defer to the blue ones. The scaled ones seem afraid. I think this council isn't as united as they claim." Dr. Miller looked up from her papers. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying we should be careful. In my experience, nobody offers this much without wanting something big in return." The next day, Ambassador Zix Vorn invited Earth to send representatives to the Council's regional headquarters. It was a huge honor, they said. Earth would be the newest member of the galactic community. World leaders celebrated. People danced in the streets. Humanity had found its place among the stars. Only Sam Carter kept watching the aliens with careful eyes. During a celebration dinner, he noticed how the ambassador looked at Earth's military leaders. It wasn't friendly curiosity in those diamond eyes. It was calculation. As fireworks exploded overhead and the world celebrated first contact, Sam slipped away from the party. He needed to make some calls. Something about these aliens bothered him deeply. He didn't know it yet, but his instincts would soon be proven right. In the worst possible way. 5 years passed since the aliens arrived. Humans now had a small colony on Mars and a research station near Jupiter. Earth had changed in many ways. New technology made life easier. Sickness became less common. People looked to the stars with hope instead of wonder. John Baker worked as an administrator at the Mars colony. His wife Kate ran the medical center there. Their daughter Lily was 8 years old and had lived half her life on the red planet. She had never seen Earth's blue skies or green trees except in videos. Lily had bright eyes and a curious mind. She asked questions about everything. The aliens who sometimes visited the colony found her fascinating. Human children were rare in space. Lily has been chosen for a great honor, John told his wife one evening. The council wants her to visit their regional headquarters. She'll be the first human child to go there. Kate looked worried. Is it safe? That's so far from home. Ambassador Zix Vorn promised she'll be perfectly safe. It's a goodwill visit. They want to show that humans are fully accepted now. Sam Carter, now a colonel, heard about the trip when he visited Mars on a security inspection. He still didn't trust the council, even after 5 years. I don't like it, he told John. Why a child? Why your child? John smiled. Because Lily is special. You've seen how she is with the aliens. She's not afraid of them like some kids. She treats them like they're just people. Sam couldn't change their minds. A week later, Lily boarded a council ship with her parents. They traveled for 3 days to reach the massive space station that served as the council's headquarters in this part of the galaxy. The station was amazing. It was like a small world floating in space. It had gardens with strange plants, markets full of items from 100 worlds, and beings of every shape and color. Lily loved it all. On the second day, the official tour began. Ambassador Zix Vorn led them through grand halls and meeting rooms. Lily stayed close to her parents, but her eyes were everywhere, taking in all the new sights. Then they reached a section marked with strange symbols. This area houses our advanced research, said the ambassador. We must pass through quickly and touch nothing. As they walked through, an alarm suddenly blared. Lights flashed red. Council security forces rushed in, carrying weapons. What's happening? John shouted over the noise. The ambassador looked confused. Someone has activated a restricted system. Lily stood near a wall panel that was glowing. I just wanted to see what this button did, she said in a small voice. The security forces surrounded her. Their leader, a tall being with gray skin, raised his weapon. Step away from the panel, he ordered. She's just a child, Kate cried. She didn't understand. Everything happened very fast after that. Lily stepped back, frightened by the shouting. A security guard moved toward her. John tried to reach his daughter. There was a flash of light, a terrible sound, and Lily fell to the floor. Kate screamed. John dropped to his knees beside his daughter's body. The security forces stepped back, weapons still ready. This is most unfortunate, said Ambassador Zix Vorn. The child accessed dangerous technology. Our security protocols are automatic. You killed her, John whispered. His voice shook with grief and rage. She was 8 years old. We offer our deepest regrets, the ambassador said. This was an unfortunate accident. Later, as the Baker family returned to Mars with Lily's body, news of the incident spread across Earth and its colonies. People were shocked, then angry. Sam Carter watched the reports with cold eyes. That was no accident, he said to himself. He reached for his secure phone. It was time to call in some very old favors. Colonel Sam Carter couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Lily Baker's face from the photos. An innocent child killed because she touched the wrong button. Something about the whole situation felt wrong. He sat in his office at the United Nations Space Command, staring at his computer. The council had sent their official report on the incident. It called Lily's death an unfortunate security response to unauthorized access of critical systems. They offered money to the Baker family and promised to review their security protocols. It wasn't enough. Not nearly enough. Sam started digging through old military files. He had high-level access, but even he hit walls. Certain files were locked behind security that shouldn't exist. His curiosity grew. What were they hiding? He called his old friend, General Frank Howard. Frank, I need access to the Black Archive, Sam said when they met in a quiet corner of the Pentagon. Frank looked surprised. Nobody's opened those files in decades. Why now? Because I think there's something in there that might help us deal with the council. Frank was silent for a long time. Then he nodded slowly. Come with me. They went down to a sub-basement, then another level below that. Frank placed his hand on a scanner, spoke a password, and a heavy door opened. Inside was a small room with a single computer that looked older than Sam. This system isn't connected to any network, Frank explained. What's in here stays here. Sam sat down and began searching. Hours passed as he read through file after file. Then he found it. A folder labeled Pacific Recovery, 1962. He opened it and froze. On the screen were pictures of a crashed spacecraft. Not in space, on Earth. In 1962. The files told an incredible story. During the Cold War, a small alien ship had crashed in the Pacific Ocean. The Americans recovered it first, but the Soviets, Chinese, and Europeans all knew about it. Instead of fighting over it, they made a secret agreement. They would share what they learned and tell no one. Scientists from around the world worked together to understand the alien technology. They made breakthroughs in energy, weapons, and space travel, but they kept it all hidden. Then Sam found the contingency plan. If hostile aliens ever came to Earth, the world powers would activate a fleet of ships they had secretly built using the alien technology. These ships were hidden in underground bases, in mountain caves, and under the oceans. The last entry was from 1991. With the Cold War ending, the project was mothballed. The ships were put into deep storage. The project leaders retired or died. The fleet was forgotten. But it still existed. Sam printed several key pages and deleted his search history. He and Frank left the archive and sealed it again. Do you understand what this means? Sam asked as they walked out of the Pentagon. Frank nodded grimly. It means we're not as helpless as the Council thinks we are. The next day, Sam met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He laid out everything he had found. At first, they didn't believe him. Then Frank showed them his own access codes and confirmed the story. These ships would be over 60 years old now, said one general. Even with alien tech, they might not work anymore. We have to try, Sam insisted. The Council killed a human child and called it an accident. What happens when they decide more of us are inconvenient? After hours of debate, they agreed to send teams to check the old bases. They would keep it secret from the Council and even from most of Earth's governments for now. As Sam left the meeting, his phone buzzed. It was a message from a human diplomat at the Council headquarters. It contained just 4 words. They're lying to us. Teams of engineers and soldiers traveled to hidden locations around the world. They went to places not found on any map. Deep in the Mariana Trench, buried under Antarctic ice, and hidden in the empty Sahara Desert, they found them. The ships of the contingency fleet. For 2 weeks, Sam Carter got reports from these teams. The news was better than anyone hoped. The ships were old but still worked. The alien technology had kept them ready all these years. They just needed crews and updates. How many ships do we have? Asked General Howard during a secret meeting in an underground bunker. 178, Sam replied. Different sizes. The biggest ones are almost a mile long. The room was silent. Earth's current space fleet had only 12 small ships, all built with Council-approved technology. We need someone to lead this fleet, said the U.S. President. She had been brought into the secret only days ago. Someone with space combat experience. Admiral Lisa Alvarez, suggested Sam. She ran simulated space battles against the Council for years, just in case. They called her paranoid. Get her here, ordered the President. Meanwhile, Earth's diplomats kept talking to the Council. They asked for justice for Lily Baker. They demanded to investigate her death themselves. The Council refused. They said humans didn't understand space station security needs. They offered more money to the Baker family instead. John Baker refused their money. He went on global news networks and showed videos of Lily. My daughter was murdered, he said. and they won't even let us see the security videos. People around the world grew angry. Protests started outside council buildings on Earth. Some humans working with aliens quit their jobs. But still, the diplomats talked of peace and patience. It was all a show. Behind the scenes, Earth was preparing for war. Admiral Alvarez arrived at the Antarctic base and took command of the fleet. She named the biggest ship Retribution. Other ships got names like Defiance, Guardian, and Vengeance. The fleet needed crews. Military veterans were quietly called back to duty. Young officers disappeared from their posts, replaced with rookies. No one asked questions. The secret had to be kept. Engineers worked day and night to update the ships with modern systems. The old alien tech was still more advanced than most of what humans had now, but it needed to work with current computers. In space, Agent Ethan Ross watched the council carefully. He was officially the human diplomat, but really he was a spy. He noticed the council members meeting more often without humans present. Something was happening. One night, he broke into a secure council database. What he found made his blood run cold. The council had been testing species for centuries. When they found a new spacefaring race, they watched them. If the species seemed too independent or unpredictable, the council would find ways to control them or remove them from the galactic stage. Humans had been marked as potentially problematic from the first meeting. The file had notes about human aggression, individualism, and resistance to authority. These were seen as dangerous traits. Then Ross found a report about Lily Baker. Her death wasn't an accident. It was a test to see how humans would react to a show of force. The council expected humans to get angry, but ultimately accept their superior power. Ross downloaded the files and sent an encrypted message to Earth. It was deliberate. They're testing us. And we're not the first. As the message reached Earth, Admiral Alvarez was standing on the bridge of the Retribution. Engineers were bringing systems online. Lights flickered and then stayed on. The huge ship hummed with power. "Status report," Alvarez ordered. "All systems operational." "Admiral," replied her second in command. "The fleet awaits your orders." Alvarez nodded. It's time to show the council who they're really dealing with. Earth's United Nations met in an emergency session. The room was packed with leaders from every country. They had all seen Agent Ross's evidence. They knew the truth now. Lily Baker's death was no accident. "We must respond to this crime," said the UN Secretary-General Maria Gonzalez. "The Council thinks we are weak. They think we will accept whatever they do to us." The room erupted in angry shouts. Some wanted immediate war. Others still urged caution. "We should give the Council one last chance," suggested Dr. Susan Miller. "Make our demands clear. See how they respond." The leaders agreed. They wrote a message to the Council with 3 demands: full accountability for Lily's death, unrestricted rights to investigate the incident, and guarantees that Earth would remain free to make its own choices. Ambassador Zix Vorn received these demands with a cold smile. "Your species needs to understand its place in the galactic order," he said. "The Council has existed for thousands of years. We do not answer to newcomers." As he spoke, reports came in that Council warships were moving toward Earth's solar system. "This is a standard security response," the ambassador explained. "Nothing to worry about, as long as humans remain reasonable." Secretary General Gonzalez knew what the ambassador really meant: obey or be punished. She looked at the military advisors in the room. They nodded. It was time. That evening, Maria Gonzalez addressed the entire world on live television. "Citizens of Earth," she began, "for 5 years we have tried to join the galactic community as equal partners. We hoped for friendship and cooperation. Instead, the Council has treated us like children. They have tested us, and when one of our children died at their hands, they refused us justice." She paused, her face serious. "Today, I must share a secret. During the Cold War, Earth already had contact with alien technology. Our nations work together to build a fleet of ships using that technology. Those ships have remained hidden, waiting for a time of great need. Screens around the world showed images of massive ships rising from the ocean, emerging from mountain hideaways, and breaking through Antarctic ice. We have activated the contingency fleet, Gonzalez continued. We will defend ourselves. We will demand justice. We are not helpless. In orbit around the Jupiter outpost, Admiral Alvarez stood on the bridge of the Retribution. On her screens, she could see the approaching council ships. There were 20 of them, led by a large vessel called the Righteous Judgment. Open a channel, Alvarez ordered. The face of a council commander appeared on screen. He looked shocked to see a human in command of such a large ship. This is Admiral Lisa Alvarez of Earth's contingency fleet, she said calmly. Your ships are entering restricted space. Turn around now. The council commander laughed. Humans had no restricted space. The council claims this entire system. Then the council is mistaken, Alvarez replied. This is your only warning. Leave our system, or we will remove you. With what? Your primitive vessels. We have scanned your fleet. That technology is centuries out of date. Alvarez smiled. Maybe. But we've made some improvements. She cut the connection and turned to her crew. Battle stations. Prepare all weapons. The council ships moved closer, confident in their superior technology. They had faced many young species before. All had fallen in line eventually. 178 human ships moved into formation. On board each vessel, men and women prepared for battle. They were fighting for Lily Baker. For justice. For Earth's future. All ships report ready, Admiral, said Alvarez's second in command. Alvarez looked at the advancing council fleet. Send this message to all ships. Remember Lily Baker. The message went out. On every human ship, crews stood straighter. Their resolve hardened. Fire when ready, ordered Admiral Alvarez. The first shots of the war flashed across the darkness of space. The space around Jupiter lit up with energy blasts and explosions. The council ships fired first, expecting an easy victory. They were wrong. Earth's ships moved in ways the council had never seen before. They didn't form neat battle lines like other species. Instead, they broke into small groups that attacked from multiple directions at once. What are they doing? Asked the commander of the Righteous Judgment. This is not standard combat formation. His weapons officer looked confused. It's chaos, but somehow, it's working. Admiral Alvarez stood calmly on the bridge of the Retribution. On her screens, she watched the battle unfold. She had studied old naval battles from Earth's history. The Council might have better technology, but humans had something they didn't. Thousands of years of war experience. Group 3, target their flagship's engines, she ordered. Group 5, draw their fire away from our smaller ships. 5 human ships zoomed toward the Righteous Judgment. The Council ship fired, hitting one of them. But it didn't explode. The human ship's shields glowed but held firm. Impossible, shouted the Council commander. Their shields should have failed. What the Council didn't know was that Earth scientists had improved the old alien tech. They had combined it with human innovations that the Council had never considered. The human ships fired their main weapons. The blasts hit the Council flagship's engines. The massive ship stopped moving, drifting helplessly in space. All around the battlefield, Council ships were being damaged or destroyed. Their commanders called for help, shocked by what was happening. They had expected to teach humans a lesson. Instead, they were learning one. Admiral, called out Alvarez's communications officer. The Righteous Judgment is hailing us. Alvarez nodded. On screen, the Council commander appeared. His confidence was gone. How is this possible? Your technology shouldn't be able to stand against ours. You made 2 mistakes, Alvarez replied. You underestimated humans. And you killed one of our children. The commander looked away. We request mercy for our surviving crews. Unlike you, we don't kill without need. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. The battle lasted less than an hour. 17 Council ships were destroyed. The other 3, including the flagship, surrendered. It was a complete victory for Earth. As human crews secured the captured ships, Admiral Alvarez received an urgent message from Agent Ross, still hidden at the Council headquarters. "The Council is in shock," Ross reported. "They can't believe what happened, but they're already planning their response. They're calling in their main battle fleet. Hundreds of ships are being mobilized." Alvarez thanked him for the warning. "Stay safe. Keep gathering information." Back on Earth, the news of victory spread quickly. People celebrated in the streets. After years of feeling like second-class members of the galactic community, humans had proven their strength. But Sam Carter didn't join the celebrations. He met with Secretary General Gonzalez and other world leaders in the human war room. "This was just their scouting force," he explained. "The real fight is coming." "Can we win against their main fleet?" asked Gonzalez. "If we fight smart," Carter replied. "We need to use what makes humans different: our creativity, our ability to try new things." Gonzalez looked around the room. "Any ideas?" A naval strategist raised her hand. "The Council thinks in straight lines. They'd follow rules. We should use that against them." "How?" asked Carter. "Jupiter's moons," she said. "We hide our ships there. Set traps. Fight like pirates, not like a regular navy." Admiral Alvarez joined the meeting via video from the Retribution. "I like it," she said. "The Council expects us to defend Earth directly. They won't expect us to fight in the outer system." As they planned their strategy, news arrived from across the galaxy. Other species had heard about Earth's victory. Some were reaching out secretly, offering support. The Council wasn't as beloved as they claimed. "We're not alone in this fight," Gonzalez said, looking at the messages. "We may have more allies than we thought." Outside the war room window, the night sky glittered with stars. Somewhere out there, the Council's main fleet was coming. The real test was about to begin. News of Earth's victory spread through the galaxy faster than the Council could stop it. For centuries, the Council had told everyone they were unbeatable. Now a young species had proven that wrong. Agent Ross moved carefully through the Council headquarters. Security was tighter now. Anyone from Earth was watched closely. But Ross had friends in hidden places. He met a Draki in a quiet corner of the station's garden level. The Draki looked like tall lizards with 4 arms and silver eyes. Their home planets had been taken by the Council centuries ago. "My people wish to help Earth," the Draki whispered. "We have ships hidden beyond the Council's knowledge. Not many, but they are fast and well armed." "Why would you risk helping us?" Ross asked. "Because if you win, perhaps we can be free too." Ross wasn't the only one finding allies. Across the galaxy, species reached out to Earth through secret channels. The Nelvordians, who looked like walking trees with glowing eyes, offered their advanced medical technology. The Krell, a small but clever species, shared maps of Council supply routes. Admiral Alvarez received these offers with cautious hope. "We need all the help we can get," she told Earth's leaders. "The Council's main fleet is 3 times larger than ours." Earth prepared for the coming battle. The fleet spread among Jupiter's moons, hiding in shadows and behind rocky surfaces. Engineers worked on the captured Council ships, learning their technology and adding human improvements. Meanwhile, Council propaganda filled the galactic networks. They called humans dangerous savages who needed to be controlled. They claimed the human victory was just luck, and soon order would be restored. "They're afraid," Sam Carter told Secretary General Gonzalez. For the first time in ages, someone stood up to them and won. 7 days after the first battle, sensors detected the Council's main fleet entering the solar system. 250 ships, led by the massive dreadnought Galactic Authority. "All ships to battle positions," ordered Admiral Alvarez from the Retribution, now hidden behind Europa. "Remember the plan. Let them come to us." The Council fleet moved with perfect formation toward Jupiter. Their sensors swept the space ahead, looking for human ships. "No sign of the human fleet near Earth," reported the sensor officer on the Galactic Authority. "They must be hiding." "Cowards," said Supreme Commander Vexnar. "Send scout ships to check each moon." 10 small council ships broke from the main group and spread out. They moved close to the moons, scanning carefully. "Now," ordered Alvarez when the scouts were far from the main fleet. Human ships emerged from hiding places all around the scouts. Before they could warn the main fleet, all 10 scouts were destroyed or disabled. "First part complete," Alvarez said. "Now for Phase 2. Earth ships flew out from behind Ganymede and headed straight toward the Council fleet. They fired missiles that released clouds of special material that blocked the Council's sensors. "We're blind," shouted a Council officer as their screens went dark. In the confusion, groups of human ships attacked from multiple directions. The Council tried to maintain formation, but they couldn't see properly. Their carefully planned battle strategy fell apart. Then came Earth's secret weapons, small fast ships carrying special bombs that could disable a Council ship's power systems without destroying it. These ships darted through the Council fleet, leaving disabled vessels in their wake. Vexnar watched in horror as his perfect fleet fell into chaos. "This is not how battles are fought," he raged. "They are breaking all the rules." On his command ship, a junior officer turned to his friend and whispered, "Maybe that's why they're winning." From hidden spots all around Jupiter's moons, Earth's allies joined the fight. Draki ships appeared and attacked the Council's rear guard. Nelvorian medical ships rescued damaged human vessels. As the battle spread across the Jupiter system, news reached Earth. A Council ship had broken through and was heading toward Mars. The Council warship raced toward Mars, where thousands of human colonists lived. Its weapons were powered up and ready to fire. John and Kate Baker were helping evacuate their medical center when they heard the news. A Council ship was coming. There wasn't enough time to get everyone off planet. "We lost Lily to them," John said, holding Kate's hand. "We won't lose anyone else." On the Retribution, Admiral Alvarez received the emergency call from Mars. She turned to her second in command. "We need to stop that ship." "All our vessels are engaged here, Admiral," he replied. "Except one." Alvarez nodded. "Bring it online." In a special dock attached to the Retribution, a ship unlike any other waited. It was built using the best of human engineering and alien technology. Its hull was midnight black. On its side was a single name: Lily's Memory. The ship was Earth's secret weapon, created for this exact situation. Its engines powered up, glowing blue against the darkness of space. "Lily's Memory is ready, Admiral," reported the pilot. "Go save Mars," Alvarez ordered. The ship shot forward faster than any vessel in human history. It passed Jupiter's orbit in minutes, heading straight for the Council warship approaching Mars. Back in the main battle, Earth's fleet and their allies continued to fight the Council. Despite being outnumbered, they were winning. Their unusual tactics confused the Council commanders, who only knew how to fight in traditional ways. Supreme Commander Vexnar watched his fleet falling apart around him. Half his ships were disabled or destroyed. The rest were scattered and fighting alone. "This cannot be happening," he said. "We are the Council. We have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years." A blast rocked his ship. On his screen, he saw the Retribution approaching. "Hail them," he ordered. Admiral Alvarez appeared on his screen. "Are you ready to surrender, Commander?" "The Council does not surrender to lesser species," Vexnar replied, but his voice lacked conviction. "Look around you," Alvarez said. "Your fleet is defeated. Your way of ruling through fear is over." Near Mars, the Council warship prepared to fire on the colony. Suddenly, its sensors detected something approaching at impossible speed. Lily's Memory appeared like a ghost from the darkness. It fired special weapons that cut through the Council ship's shields like they weren't there. The Council captain barely had time to order evasive action before his engines died. On Mars, People watched as the council ship drifted harmlessly into orbit. All its systems shut down. A voice came over the colony's communication system. Mars is safe. This is Captain Lee from Lily's memory. The threat has been neutralized. John and Kate Baker held each other and cried. Somewhere, they felt, their daughter was watching. As news of the victory reached Jupiter, Supreme Commander Vexnar finally accepted reality. I'd request terms for surrender. Within hours, the battle was over. The remaining council ships powered down their weapons. The war that was supposed to put humans in their place had instead changed the galaxy forever. 1 week later, Admiral Alvarez and Dr. Susan Miller met with representatives from the Council and Earth's new allies. They gathered in a large room on the captured Galactic Authority. "The old Council system is finished," Alvarez announced. "No more will one group decide the fate of all others. Each species will have an equal voice." Dr. Miller stepped forward. "We propose a new alliance based on cooperation, not control. No species will rule over others. And no child, from any world, will ever be harmed without consequences." The representatives voted. One by one, they approved the new alliance. Even most of the council species agreed, relieved that the old system was gone. On Earth, a new memorial was built. It stood in the center of the United Nations Plaza. It was a simple statue of a little girl looking up at the stars. At its base were words in many languages from across the galaxy, for Lily Baker and for all children. The stars belong to everyone.